Alright guys, Fulu coming to you with another video. I hope all is well with y'all. So, I was checking Twitter and stuff like that. Um, just looking through the tweets, seeing what they were talking about. And let me break this down in two parts. The first part, Ryan Garcia, like I think he needs to get checked out. Like, personally speaking, I think this dude needs to like actually seek some kind of psychiatric help or seek something of that sort. You know, I think he needs to sit down somewhere. I think he needs to slow up, you know, on them steroids. You know, that's what I really think he needs to do. Let's just slow up on the steroids. But when Gervonta Tank Davis fought Issac Pitbull Cruz, Ryan Garcia, still with a hand injury, was critical of the opposition in which Tank was fighting. You know, he was very critical of it, saying that, like, you know, Tank, you know, is not fighting the top tier opposition and what have you. He was talking about that. And we remember he went on the Mike Tyson's show and he pretty much gaslighted Tank, and Tank responded, well, you got dropped by a dude who can't punch, you know. And a back and forth ensued, and you know, we knew that fight wasn't going to come to fruition, right? And then Ryan Garcia said that he was going to fight Manny Pacquiao, and that his Manny Pacquiao fight was not an exhibition. But I mean, lo and behold, Manny Pacquiao never even mentioned Ryan Garcia at all. You know, he didn't even say, like, in his accent, yes, I'm entertaining a Manny Pacquiao fight, or a Ryan Garcia fight. Fast forward, we have, you know, that tweet where Ryan Garcia said that, you know, Tank is fighting lower opposition in Issac Pitbull Cruz. Now, you know, it's not the best opponent. I agree with you there. It's not the best opponent, but it was a game opponent who came there to win. We know that Tank boxed circles and did what he needed to do. He just boxed the guy. You know, he just showed his boxing ability, right? So, fast forward, and you know, now Ryan Garcia is trying to fight Pitbull Cruz, saying the usual thing, the usual slogans: "I'll knock you out, I'll do this, I'll do that, this, that, and the other." We already know what Ryan Garcia likes to say. You know, these are his words all the time. Do those words ever come to fruition? Not necessarily. So, you know, the thing is, Issac Pitbull Cruz has turned down a Ryan Garcia fight. The Ryan Garcia fanboys will accuse him of ducking, of course. But let's ask ourselves a couple of questions. Question number one. Did Issac Cruz get life-changing money? And despite the fact that the pay-per-view numbers were not up to par, did Issac Cruz get life-changing money for being on pay-per-view? Did Issac Cruz for the first time go to a Lakers game? Did Issac Cruz get acknowledged by other peers for putting up a fight against Gervonta Tank Davis? Now we have to ask ourselves this question though. Would fighting Ryan Garcia be a downgrade from fighting Gervonta Tank Davis? I mean, when we look at both fighters, Gervonta Tank Davis has the better resume. And, he's been the more active fighter. And he's been knocking things up and down, different weight classes, knocking things off. We have to ask ourselves, who is Ryan Garcia's most notable victory? And it's against Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell, I think, lost his first fight against Ves Mindy, French-born fighter. He got dropped in that fight, I believe, too. So we look at that, and we have to ask ourselves, does Issac Pitbull Cruz want to take a downgrade? Because, for Ryan Garcia, my personal opinion, Ryan Garcia is the undisputed champion at Twitter and the undisputed champion at Instagram, posting Instagram boxing videos. He's cleaned out that division completely. There's no doubt about it. So, I think in Issac Cruz's mind, what he is thinking is that, hey, I made a lot of money during that Tank fight, and I probably saw some pay-per-view revenue in that fight. Do I really want to downgrade and fight a guy who's coming back off of a layoff? And I'm pretty sure Issac Cruz, although he lost the fight against Gervonta Tank Davis, I think he's thinking he has bigger fish to fry than Ryan Garcia. Now, it must be said too that Gervonta Tank Davis is a better boxer than Ryan Garcia will ever be, in a million years. We also have to say that, numerous other people in his weight class or below his weight class are way better boxers. You have the likes of Shakur Stevenson, who's a better boxer. You have the likes of Devin Haney, who's a better boxer. You have the likes of Michel Rivera, who's a better boxer. You have all these guys who are just better boxers than Ryan Garcia. And you also have the simple fact that Ryan Garcia is the weakest link at 135. And so I think that I believe he fights at 130. I'm not quite sure what weight class he fights at. Oh, never mind. He fights at 130. I was about to suggest Pitbull Cruz fight Abraham Nova, but he fights at 130, so never mind. He'll fight. I think he's trying to knock down Navarrete fight anyway. But I don't consider this a duck. I just consider it, hey, I got paid on pay-per-view. I was sharing the ring with a guy who people know, and if I share the ring with Ryan Garcia, it's a downgrade. And we have to look at the simple fact: how do we know if Ryan Garcia won't pull out of the fight? And on a final note, when it comes to that whole camp, you saw Canelo the other day drunk, very indisciplined. We know that, and then he had the nerve to tell Ryan Garcia to get on his game when, as a matter of fact, he was drunk as a sailor out of place. And so, it just goes to show you that they don't have any, like this Eddie Royden also doesn't have control over his fighters, and he's very much a yes man. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now. Leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Let me know if you think Issac Pitbull Cruz is ducking Ryan Garcia, or you think he just wants the same bag that he would get that he got fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, which was life-changing money. But anyhow, full of signing out. Inshallah.